Probably not.
I think it is.
Probably not.
It says on live.
When has it ever gone work? When has it ever worked first time?
Ever. But it wouldn't be the Plastic Crack podcast without it working. Oh, dear, oh dear. Right, ladies and gentlemen, can you hear us, please?
Yes, can you hear?
And look, we've all gone the opposite. We've all decided to not wear our tops, and Steve's worn his.
I know. Oh, there we go. I can hear you on there.
Yeah, I thought it could hear me. Apparently I'm live.
Yeah. How are we coming through on this one?
Testing, testing, testing.
Yeah.
Hello, Jim.
Thank you very much, Imaginary Conflicts. Good evening.
How are we coming through on mine?
Right.
We've got Duncan, Leslie, Brush and Quill, Carl, and Jim are all here. Hello.
Very nice. Excelente.
Evening, chaps.
Right, I think we're actually all good for once. Right, so good evening and welcome.
That's weird. Mine took forever. Mine did what yours did last week. It just took forever to load up.
Yours took ages. Okay, right, now Dom's live.
Let's try again.
Right. All right. Good evening and welcome to the Plastic Crack podcast, the one and only place where you get your miniatures fix from 4 beautiful people, I might add. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
We got the hardcore nutter in the corner there wearing his MacArthur t-shirt, drinking some coffee. I bet that's black coffee as well. Steve from On Point HQ, you've got diagonally to me, you've got Dom from Boots on the Table. Above me, you've got Martin Seventh Son. And I'm Ken from Miniature Wargaming Warriors. Thank you for joining us on this Monday evening. Great to have you with us. Right, we promised last week, because we're going to kick this off, just to give you a heads up, I'm on call, so I might get called out. I'm hoping I don't, but we're going to get this bit done first. So we decided last week that we were going to paint each other something nice for Christmas. It's been a shitty year, and we thought we'd do something a bit more of a challenge sort of aspect. So we're not just going to choose each other and choose the thing. So I've got in front of me some bolt action dice, okay, and these represent, sorry, 4 bolt action dice, different colours. Look, you can see there's nothing in there. No dice, I've just taken them out. 4 different colours. So you've got grey, black, maroon, and green. So Steve is green, Dom is maroon, I'm black, and Martin's grey. So I'm going to pull these out.
Surely Steve has to be field grey. Sorry.
Yeah,
I've done it. Right, Steve's field grey, and you're green.
Sorry.
I didn't have any
I
clues.
bleed field grey.
So basically, I'm going to pull one of these out. So I'll say a name to start with. So I'll tell you what. Actually, I need to take the colour out of the guy who's not doing it. So
I'm actually really nervous about this.
I'm taking Steve's out. So this is Steve's choice here. This is going to be Steve's
really
option.
worried, Martin.
All right. So this is the person. Then we've got 3 choices as well. Okay. All right. So green, you've got Martin.
So Steve's painting for me.
You've got
Right.
Steve's painting for you, right? Okay. So
Do you want me to
Steve's
tell me
painting for you.
Do you want me to say what my choices are?
Oh, I hope he gets the drummer.
Can I say?
Yeah, go on. Right. So we'll give each choice a colour. So
Okay. So my first choice is English Civil War Royalist Command. And
that'll be black. That'll be black.
My second choice is Bushido Cult of Yuri Undead.
Green.
Any undead gribbly monster. And my final choice is Napoleonic Marmaluke Cavalry. And if I go on mine, I think the people on my stream, if I click that's what it looks like. And I'm really, really pleased it's Steve who's got it.
Right, and we've got green. It's Bushido. So
I've avoided anything. I'm so glad I've avoided anything black powder-esque at all. Just anything.
I'll let you. I'll show you what it is. That's awesome. It's lots of dead folk.
So
Sweet.
Steve's back in the bag. Martin is now out of the bag, and
That sounds
so
weird.
the
But
choice.
Okay.
Yeah. So Martin, this is going to be yours. This is who you're doing.
All right.
It for, all right.
Well then.
Black,
Who's that?
which was
That
me.
was you.
That's Steve, isn't it?
No, Steve was grey.
No, Steve. Steve was Phil Grey. No, that's me.
That's
Black
you.
is me.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's me.
Right, go on then.
Right, so my choices were French, anything French Napoleonic, so that's grey.
Yeah.
Right, in just normal line. Then I had Italian cavalry, which is
What? Napoleonic Italian cavalry?
Italian cavalry. Yeah, just like a command or something. Okay. And then the Marine was any sort of like colonel or command base, alright?
Oh, right. If the cavalry comes out of there,
It's Marine. It's colonel.
The colonel. So French
Yeah.
French command colonel kind of thing.
Yeah, French
Alright.
command colonel.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Alright.
What for
Okay. So now that just leaves me and you, Dom, doesn't it? So
It
Martin's-
does. It looks
Martin's
like we're doing each
me.
other, mate.
yeah, so we're doing each other.
Hello,
Yeah, we'll work like that. Yeah. So it's me or you. So so it's me or you. There you go. So I'm doing you, you're doing me then. So we got to choose. I'll put the 3 in for you, and then we do the 3 for me. So for yourself, Dom, what were your choices?
what I had anything orcish.
Yeah. So
Orc
we'll do that
stuff.
as green. Orcs as green.
Obviously. We had a British cavalry, Napoleonic cavalry.
We'll do that as maroon.
All right. And the third one was
Cleveberg, wasn't
something
it?
that I could have as Cleveberg engineers or pioneers.
Okay, so that's grey. Not the horses.
please.
I'm so glad that wasn't me. Painting
Green.
white.
Green.
Painting
That
white
was
would have been
cavalry.
the worst thing.
Oh, it's got
No,
orcs.
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 I've got orcs.
That's the orcs, yeah.
So that means that
Away with
Ken's
one.
painting
You
for
dodged
Steve.
that one.
No,
Yeah,
Dom's painting for Steve.
No.
So
Dom's...
I'm doing three.
No, you're painting for Steve.
Yeah, Dom's painting for Steve. I'm painting
No,
for
Dom's
you.
painting for
Yeah.
me.
No, I'm painting for you. You're painting for Dom. Dom's painting for Steve,
you
and Steve's
fucking
painting
hell.
for
Yeah,
me.
that's it.
You'd be a crap bingo caller, mate.
Yeah, that's it. So
We could get this right if we tried.
Steve, you're painting orcs.
Do you know what?
There you go.
Can I just say that I thought the American election was complicated until this stream started.
It's not over yet. This is, we'll get to a demand a recount.
So Steve, you're painting orcs. All right then. So the last person. Who's the last person? No, hang on.
Hold on.
Martin,
It's not,
No.
I thought I was painting for Mark.
he's painting mine. Steve's
All right,
painting
so
undead, Japanese undead for me. I'm painting French colonel for you. You're painting an orc for Dom. So Dom is now you're drawing out what Dom is doing for Steve.
Now you're drawing for me.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Oh,
I feel like- I feel a nosebleed.
Oh yeah. Okay. Right. So Steve, your 3 choices, mate.
Yeah.
Right. What did you have?
German Hessian.
Oh yeah, that was it. So German, World War II, black. German Conflict 47, grey, and Hessian green. All right.
Yeah.
go for it.
It's black, so that is German World War II. Or was it Conflict 47? No, Conflict 47. Conflict 47. Yeah, there you are. You're doing Conflict 47. Right, there we go.
So to summarise, what are we painting?
Right, so I'm painting for Dom, orcs.
Yeah,
You're painting for me,
a colonel, a French colonel.
the colonel. Yeah. Steve's painting for you, the Bushido.
Yeah.
And Dom is painting for Steve, Conflict 47, Germans.
So
Clear as bloody
I think Kaiser has summed this up quite well on my V where he just put rank amateurs.
Yeah. Dead right.
And then Matt Bell said his
Absolutely.
brain hurts, mate, not as much as ours. And what do we have a deadline for this?
Try and get what I was thinking is I was thinking if we could all try and get this painted and done and uploaded for Christmas Day, and we all release this video on Christmas Day, midday. Then there's all 4 of our videos Christmas Day.
Do you not want to? Oh, okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We all release at the same
Fine.
time, and we all link each other's videos within the challenge and do a little intro. Yeah, so we've got the 4 challenges and got the links. Yeah? Should we do that?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's give it
All
a
right.
shot.
All right.
If we epically fail, we'll do it for New Year's Day.
Just send. You should just send it to each other and not look at it, and then just do like an opening video of what each other have done. So you have no idea.
Or do a reaction. You could have a reaction video to what the other person's done for your figure.
That'd be quite cool. I don't know. I don't mind.
Could do that on the New Year's one. Ooh.
Anyway, let's work that one.
We'll work
Let's
out the
out
details.
in
We'll work that on camera. Right, so, gentlemen.
Rather than bore everybody after wasting all this time.
Imaginary conflicts. What a kerfuffle, yes. Wouldn't it be a
There we
kerfuffle
go.
if it wasn't for us? So, the only person who seriously looks like they're doing any work is Steve, because he's frozen.
Has he? I just thought that. Oh, okay. I just thought he was concentrating.
Yeah, so did I. No, it's moved again. There we go.
He clipped.
There's
Before
a Blood Bowl there in the background.
He
I've got
does.
to admit. I can
But,
see the Blood Bowl.
before we get started, can I just do a little shout out?
Of course you can.
Brush and Quill, starting tomorrow, he's going to be doing his Advent videos because it's the 1st of December. So you should go and check those out. He's got his whole Advent set up and these little drawers. So each day he's going to be putting a video out. So go and check it out.
Nice.
He's in there and I'm actually looking forward to it. It's a good idea. I think I'd be a bit terrified to do that, but...
Yeah, I wish I'd never be able to paint that
Yeah, I
quick.
Come on. Where are they?
Hot Base. I like that name.
There we
That's
go.
really cool. Cludden, hi mate. Kaiser, he's here as well. Graham. Who else? Battle Knights just turned up, hi mate. And Doug Noble. Greetings from the US. You've joined us on a really, really weird night.
It's
The whole thing's fallen apart as usual.
alright, it's only in the first 10 minutes. It's
Usual thing for us, isn't it?
Who have we got? I've got Duncan FX, Leslie, Brush and Quill, Carl's here, Jim, Tech Saint, Matt Mail, Miller's here, Kaiser, Hungington. I always mess that up. And it's an
Say
amazing
Kaiser
name.
Wilhelm then.
Kaiser, yeah, that's another. Kaiser one. Kaiser, well, never mind. Nick Games. Hello.
I'm still
Got
laughing at you. Well hung. There you go.
Yeah. I've got Imaginary Conflict saying hello. I've got Modern for Advantage, so Kaiser saying hello as well. But Imaginary Conflicts has put, I watched this one for the stream for the high quality professional performance.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, guys. So just quickly, just before we start with the actual miniatures and stuff, this week it was quite an interesting week with YouTube. Obviously, you probably noticed now, especially on mine. Don't know about the other guys that have done it yet, but I've now put adverts on my channel, which I really didn't want to do. I tried to keep it to the advert. It's one advert at the start of the thing that you shouldn't see any in the middle of my videos and at the end. So can you let me know if you do see any? Because I won't be very happy with YouTube the gits. Basically, I've had to do it, and we've all going to have to do it because YouTube have said they're going to start putting adverts on our videos, even if they're not monetized. So
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, and I'm
Buggers.
basically the same.
I'm pissed off about that, man.
Yeah, because
I'm
I
really pissed off
didn't
about
want to do it. But if anyone's going to make any kind of revenue off of content, it should be the content creator. That's not, you know. And that but the thing that I think is really crappy is that, of course, unless you meet their requirements, you don't have a choice. So they can whack adverts on whatever they like, and you won't see that revenue. I mean, I know it's not going to be like. I know, obviously, it's not going to be like thousands and thousands of pounds, but it's not the point. It's just a.
No. I think I've made about $6 in a week. I think it says $6 or something like that. Yeah, it's not massive amounts, but it's still nice.
On current projections, I'll be able to emigrate to the Bahamas when I'm 184 years old. So that's my plan at the moment. Mate. I've done the maths.
Well done. Well done, sir.
But yeah, we just thought we'd get that out there.
I started
monetizing
it. I started monetizing it when I could, but only because I wanted to use the money to do prizes and what have you on the channel. But
yeah,
like you say, the money's peanuts, absolute peanuts. I mean, it's it's not even worth worrying about, to be honest. But it is annoying that they've changed those T's without us having any permission to do anything.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying.
Yeah. So Nick Games just says he doesn't follow. So YouTube will force ads on your channel that don't even have the same topic. So suddenly you'll have a shampoo ad if you don't do your own. No, it's basically basically by choosing to monetize, you have control over when the adverts, more or less control over when the adverts appear. So you can say at the beginning, at the end, or throughout the video, littered throughout it. But the revenue created from those adverts will go to the content creator. Whereas if you haven't signed up for the YouTube Partner Program, the money just goes to YouTube or Google, basically. So, but
they got plenty of money already.
Yeah, exactly. But anything's right. Anything that if any revenue gets generated off, it's going to go back into brushes and spray paint. Yeah, it's
that's it.
Just
exactly the same. Exactly the same. I'll get some models out of it. The content for the channel, innit? So that's that anyway. I did have some cool news actually for this week. So I had my graphics cards finally turned up, so I can now start doing big videos again, which I'm really happy about.
Is that the news?
They're not going to take
the graphics.
Mate, the graphics. No. The really good news is coming in a sec. But yeah, no, I'm really happy about that. I just had to get that out because I've been waiting so long for that. But the really cool thing is that that Matt has turned up from the States.
Oh, yes, I really see that.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to do a video on it, Killing Fields Terrain, so their new static grass map.
If you're going to wear it, I'm telling you now that if you open that video and you're just wearing it like some kind of cape, I'm going to get really upset.
I'm going to go, look, it's me,
even, especially if that's all you're wearing as well, I'm going to be even more upset.
So yeah,
that video won't be monetized, will it?
No.
You got visions of him laying on a sofa with nothing on apart from this.
It's my blanket. But
hello, boys.
But I'll bring it up, Dom, when we get a gaming eventually, and I'll bring it as well, Martin, when we come up, because it will definitely be worth gaming on. And I think that's going to be my main source of gaming now, because it's static grass, and I'm very much looking forward to playing with that. I might even do a couple of solo games of a Black Powder if I can. So there we go.
Cool.
Yeah, so that was my wicked news for the week.
That's
so I've been waiting a couple of months for that now, and it's turned up. So happy days.
Is that long ago?
Opened it yet. I haven't. Jesus. Yeah, it was like two months ago. Yeah, it's been two.
I can't believe that. That's crazy. That's
Yeah, it's nuts. It has been a while, but I'll just quickly imaginary conflicts. Then, what does it mean for tiny YouTubers less than 1,000 subs? Will we get ads too? Yes, you will. Unfortunately, they will just put adverts.
No one knows how they're going to pick it though, do they? So someone could just go on to you. It could be a random algorithm. If you have a video that's doing particularly well, I imagine that's how it will happen. That YouTube would identify it and then whack an advert on it. And that would be that would be it.
Yeah, the gits. But yeah, so just thought I'd go back to that. But that's my news for the week, gentlemen. And obviously, I'm getting these World War II paratroopers done really nicely at the minute. They're not washed yet, but I'm really happy with how they're coming along, because I really did want to take my time with these, and I'm definitely happy with how they are turning out so far. But that's me. What about you guys? Martin, what are you doing?
Well, so this week I finished my first English Civil War unit, my King's Lifeguard pike block, large pike block.
Yeah.
Which I'm incredibly happy with, because up until the moment I was putting the static grass on, I was still like a bit unsure about sort of how it was going to look or how it was all going to go together. And I'm really pleased with it. And over here, which you can't see, I've stuck together my first musketeer wing. So because it was a large unit, I need even more musketeers on the sides. So I've got about 15 musketeers either side. So in total, this unit's going to have about 70 models. in it. 75 actually.
That's a lot.
75 models in one unit. So
Crikey.
I was really pleased about that. But they, I mean, the flags, when the GMB flags turned up, because I bought them blind, because he doesn't. I mean, I know the quality of the flags he does, and I'm pleased with them, but I couldn't see them.
They didn't have an image.
I researched what the flags would look like, because there's quite a lot of reenactment things in other companies doing them, but I feel for some reason I feel brand loyalty to GMB because I bought all my Napoleonic flags from him. And they came, and they're stunning. They're absolutely stunning, those flags. They're I would say they're better than the Napoleonic ones that I've got. There's just something about, yeah, I really would. I think it's just because the design on them is just so much more crisp, and it's a big it's not just the tree colour or the Union Jack, you know, which is generally what it is in Napoleonics, isn't it? It's either it's one or the other. There's not a great deal unless you do the Prussian stuff. So I finished those. I been working on the God tier stuff, which you can see behind me. I bought more sets of God tier because I saw them on Amazon. So I thought, that's weird that they're on there. I'm going to buy those because they're cheaper than the next day delivery. So I've got more gribbly monsters to paint. What else? I should really give a little shout out to Carl Merritt, Mez's Miniatures, because he sent me very kindly the Moonstone set for the Moonstone Miniatures game, because I was talking about it last week. And I'm currently, because I couldn't resist them, painting those up, because they are some lovely miniatures. But because they're sort of single minis in a skirmish place, you can just paint one up in between doing other big units. So that's what I'm treating myself to for finishing all of those English Civil War things. So this turned up today. I don't know if you ordered it, Dom, but my that turned up today.
Oh yeah, I have ordered it. Yeah, I bought some books from it.
Yeah,
I wasn't going to do it on its own because with the
postage,
although the rules are very cheap, the postage made it double the price.
Yeah, the postage was more expensive than the book. But I've got to admit, it looks good. Plus, I like how in the back they've just got the Bicorn catalogue in the back of miniatures. It's just it's all the codes for all the Bicorn stuff. It looks quite cool. It looks simple. I like this. You remember we were talking about the events. So you roll at the end of a turn just to loads of different events can occur. And I was just quickly scanning this before we started to stream. So you roll 2d10, right? So on a 2, the unit just buggers off. That's it, they leave. 6, so Gilbert is drunk again. Remove 3 order dice for D3 turns. So imagine removing order dice out of your bolt action bag. So, because the guy is drunk. Powder replenishment, you can gain ammo. But the last ones is actually quite good. 20, reinforcements. Bring on a new unit of your choice that isn't rare at any board edge. So just wasn't in your army. Just bring on a unit as long as it's not rare, which is how they seem to do their army section.
I'm not allowing you to play that rule, Martin, because your units are 75 figures strong.
I know, that's it. And then, or any lost regiment or lost artillery piece is brought on as a reinforcement. So this looks like a really interesting fast play set, and I'll be looking forward to giving it a go along with Pike and Shot as soon as I finish my next 75 strong unit and have enough.
Nice.
Jason's just asking what that's about. It's actually, I think they're called Newbury fast play rules, aren't they? They're English Civil War rules.
By James Daniels.
Martin saw them on. What's the place called?
Hang on, because I've got the new. Because I was wondering what I was going to. I thought I'm actually going to have to go and buy a newspaper now to use the thing, but they've sent me their latest. All these again. It's the Naval Military Press. They've got lots of military history books, and they just happen to have some wargaming rules in there for $3.99.
I would thoroughly recommend if you want some really good history books. They do really good books, but you have, the only thing is you really need to sign up for their news sheet, because they do deals off and on all the time, and it's only worth buying them when they're doing the deals. Like Black Friday, they did some really good prices.
Well, it's because of Dom. if people look on my you can see all these books down here in the bookcase down here. They're all Napoleonic voices from on campaign, letters back from like artillery officers. I've read 2 of them. There's 10 or 12, I can't remember. There's a lot. And I worked out there's 120 quid's worth of books when they were released new, and we got them for what, 20 quid?
20 quid, yeah.
And it's amazing, and they're all brand new. So yeah, that's my week. So yeah, check out Mez's Miniatures because he's got some cool stuff on there. He's in my chat, so maybe
actually,
he'll stick his link in.
While we're talking about Mez's Miniatures, they sell the Avonpost stuff, don't they, Carl?
Yeah, he does.
The vegetable war figures. So somebody in my chat, Grandad's Airspace, was looking at that range, but was slightly worried whether they had lots of air bubbles in them or not. Now, I don't know because I haven't gotten those figures, but if Carl's on, he can just let us know what the quality is of those figures, because they look outstanding on the pictures anyway. I'm sure.
There's some cool stuff in there, definitely.
While we remember talking about Black Friday, we know this because I hinted to the guys the other night, but if you go on the Warlord official eBay store, you can get selected items. I don't know if they're still doing it for Cyber Monday.
Hang on, let me see if they're...
They are. They've got their more today.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got their 20. They got their 20% off sale, weren't they, on their website? But you can go on there and they've got 20% off items, and then plus another 20%, so it's 40% off.
I'll put the link in my chat. Yeah,
it's like 40% off.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie, I picked up a French Starter Army for like 50 quid.
I'm not gonna lie, I bought the Ordnance Battery for my ECWs for £27 when it's normally 45. So now I've got 3 massive cannons. But because Dom also linked me to 3 for 2 at Warlord, I bought a Galloper gun and another cannon. So I've actually got 5 cannons turning up for my ECW stuff.
You need the infantry to support.
You're an amateur. You're an amateur. I bought 2 boxes of ECW infantry. I bought 2 light cannons, 2 Galloper cannons. I can't remember what else, but that was just the ECW stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what Christmas is for. Although I've seen other games now that I want for Christmas because, and I don't know why, because I have Test of Honor. I had the 1st edition. And I've never bothered getting the 2nd edition rule set. And I've seen that they've just released an expansion that is a bit like a campaign for it. So your little samurai warband. And they seem to have done lots of rule tweaks and stuff like that. So I would quite like that for Christmas if my better half is listening or watching.
I think he's hinting at something there, Hayley. But yeah, no, so I thought I could let everyone know that in the chat. Everyone's probably left now because they're probably all shot over to eBay. Pick up some bargains.
Will Hungington said he bought 30 of the 95th rifles from Warlord. He went a bit overboard. I'll say, why on earth would you ever want 30 of those horrible little green gits? 30 of them. I can't even get rid of 6. Like,
you know what? I bought enough to form a battalion of them. So that if we do have a game, Martin, I can have mine in my army just to really annoy you.
Just have them in line, innit?
I just go out of my way to get rid of them.
Just have them in line, innit? Just to piss him off.
That's fine. They're easy to hit if they're in line. They're easier to hit in line.
Yeah, but they shoot from a long way away.
That's true.
There's a lot of them.
That's true. Yeah. Don't do that to me, please. Don't do that to me. I'm really looking forward to when we can come. I had a message actually. Sorry, I know we're going. I did have a message after last week, and we were talking about what do we call it, CrackCon, or whatever it was, asking if this was actually a thing, if this was going to happen.
It probably is. I would like it to.
I think we should.
I think it'd be pretty cool to do. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a lot. Yeah.
The only thing I would point out, guys, we've just tried to do a draw between 4 of us, and it went completely tits up. What's the chance of organising a conference?
Let's just say that there isn't going to be a tombola. Let's put it that
way. You're joking. The traveling's bad enough. I'll probably end up living in a commune in the Hebrides or something.
I think we're going to try, aren't we? We'll try and do something.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Even if it's just to meet
Yeah.
up.
It'll probably be
Somewhere, I
somewhere.
think,
It'll probably be somewhere in the middle of England, won't it? Because it's got to be really. Because
I think
it'll
so.
be somewhere.
Well,
Yeah, try and make it.
definitely.
Try and make it there. Yeah, can't see why we couldn't. Definitely. 100%. So yes, CrackCon will happen eventually.
CrackCon is going to happen.
Yes, that would. Be... God, what are we saying?
Jesus.
Yeah. See if we get some sponsorship from War Games Illustrated. They're probably like, "What the fuck is CrackCon?"
What? Oh Jesus! I'm up for that. Multiple tables, maybe a giant black powder game with all of our huge black powder armies.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, that's gonna be good.
Look, you've sent Ken off into ecstasy there, just thinking about that.
Just thinking about it, yeah.
Well, I can just imagine there being about 10 French players just lined up against Dom, because I don't know anyone else that plays British.
I'll have you all. I don't care.
He don't care. But yeah. So what about you, Steve? Much or?
A bit. I finished my French. Yay!
Oh, you done them, have you?
So my my French bolt action army is finished. There'll be a video coming out on that, hopefully within the next 4 weeks. But I have started a new not a new project. I'm going to have a 1,500 point British army list done. The British were my first bolt action army back in 2014. I hadn't returned to the hobby very long after that, and my painting was a bit shit, if I'm being completely honest. So I just locked them away. I just locked them away and didn't look at them. But recently, I've been looking at them. And I think I've been judging myself a bit too harshly. So I'm I'm just redoing them, and I've got these. I'm always railing about the British plastic infantry by Warlord. I don't like them.
Yeah, no. Who does?
No.
They aren't too bad. I had some kind of epiphany today while looking at them. So
oh God, Steve.
No, I don't know what. I've disliked them since the minute I opened the box. It's amazing what 6 years in the wilderness does to you. But
you're like, what?
I've somehow managed to. Well, yes. But I've got this. I did have three plastic infantry squads. I've chosen the best 10 to make one squad, because I've also got a squad. I'm painting tonight. I'm painting British Paras tonight. And I've got a squad of SAS. I'm going to do like a comic book hero type army. Just going to be full of kind of veteran sort of units. But I've been working on it the past couple of nights, and I'm really enjoying it. It's been quite a lot of fun going back to the old British, and then hopefully next year when we get some new plastic British from Warlord, they can be transitioned seamlessly into my new army. So that's my plan. But yes, I'm also planning because I could potentially be spending Christmas by myself. So I'm gonna have I'm gonna buy an army box and see if I can paint that over Christmas week, seeing as it's gonna be quite grim up here over Christmas. So that's my plan.
What's it looking like for you, Steve? Are you going into tier 2 next week, or are you still tier 3?
No, we've always been we were in tier 2. I think we're staying in tier 2. Okay. But it's still. It's just for me. It hasn't changed really in the past 7 months. But because of I'd normally spend Christmas with like a lot of my family.
Yeah.
But because it'd be six or seven households, and a couple of those people are deemed as vulnerable. So I just don't think we're going to bother this year. I think I'd rather just have, a low key Christmas when no one dies, and I get to paint a few figures. So.
It's always a good thing, that, isn't it, Steve, when no one dies over Christmas?
Yeah, I've always found that's quite beneficial to having a good Christmas.
Not in EastEnders. Someone always dies in EastEnders.
Oh, fucking
Day.
don't start.
Or Die Hard, yeah.
Oh, yes. Die Hard.
Classic Christmas films, Die Hard. Oh, dear. Right. What about yourself, Dom?
So, well, I went a bit crazy with those bolt-action Germans that became Latvians this week, well, over the weekend and this week, and that's been great fun. I've really enjoyed doing that. I've been doing Napoleonics and Ancients for so long. It was really nice just to swap it up and do something different, and I was really pleased with the results. So I was absolutely surprised. I was hunting through all my boxes trying to find figures for the Norman army, and then I found all these late war German winter stuff. And I think they all come from those sprues that, War Games Illustrated gave out some time ago. And so I had one from my magazine, and I'd made them all up. They were all made up and ready to go. But I just put them in a box, and somebody else had given me theirs, and a couple of people down the club. So I think it was about 4 sprues worth. And I was planning to use this box I had of German infantry, but in the end I didn't even need to do that. I had so many figures there. I've just done them as Winter War. It was great fun to do. I can't say I went into the whole sort of snow craziness that Martin went into with his Carthaginians, but I did. It's a half-hearted attempt on my part for that. So that was good.
You didn't order in any Colombian special then?
Well, I did get some of his frosting stuff. I did get the liquid stuff, which I need to do with.
I did have my suspicions about how it was completed so quickly. You might have been sat too near the snow product like that.
Yeah, Jesus Christ! You literally made me feel sick when you said I started them on Friday and it was Tuesday and they were done. I was fucking hell. Have you done that in 5 days? I was like, do you fucking work or what? I was like, what? I was like,
I mean, it's just whites and greys and blacks, for God's sake. It's not difficult.
The thing is as well. You talk about that. I didn't realise. So in my late. And I've got Kaiser taking the mick out of me for this on my videos. In the latest video I did, and Dom mentioned it as well, because I have a mix of flock which I use to represent nettles and weeds of of any description. So I kept when I was talking about how I made the bases, I was talking about this my weed mix, which is the one that I blended together, and the number of comments I had that. So I've got my best Colombian Chrysel snow products, and now I have my homemade weed mix. So it's going well over here.
We're definitely on a special. We're definitely on a special.
We're probably not. We've all monetised for no reason, lads. They're just going to stop monetising us.
Well, it's better, you come to CrackCon and get best Colombian snow and the homemade turfy weed. Yeah.
I'll tell you what though. On a serious note, we will. I think definitely the latter part of next year, maybe, because obviously we got to get everything settled down, of all like jabs and all that sort of shit. But on a serious note, I definitely think we'll probably be doing something like that.
Yeah.
You never know. Might even get someone to sponsor it. Jesus Christ, that'd be funny, wouldn't it? Someone like Warlord or something like that. That'd be even funnier.
Have a word with our friends.
I was about to say, yeah. Can we talk to our friends, the Perrys?
Yes. Actually, yes. This is a very good idea. So yes. Just keep watch this space.
Well, we may have an announcement on that department fairly soon, hopefully. But yeah, so it's been a good week so far. I also did get going on my Normans, although I did get distracted by an English Civil War light cannon and Limber, which I found.
Do you know what, Dom?
Through boxes.
I've found you get distracted very easily when it comes to miniatures. You just smash them out very fast.
I think everyone goes on about hobby burnout and how you get bored painting things.
I'm sorry, what the fuck's that?
There's so many. I've no idea what you're talking about. So I just literally go from one period to another and different troop types, and then I'll hunt through my pile of shame and find something I thought, oh, that looks fun. I'll have a go at that, and just keeps me going. It's the way it is.
It's the way it is, mate. Don't knock it. Don't knock it. Don't knock it till you tried it, innit? 100%.
So what
Oh
have you been
dear.
up to, Ken?
Me, I have finished my. Well, I've been doing mainly the. I'm trying to stick to this month thing, but it's not happening because I can't. I can't do it. I can't stick to this month thing. But my main project at the minute is these World War II paratroopers, the Americans, and I really want to do Easy Company, the whole company. So it's 146 men, and I'm going to do that over probably about a year or so. I've already got about 30 men done, painted, but they were commissioned, so they were done commission painting, and they've got a couple of BARs, so bars, but these were done ages ago. These are like my first ones, but I really like the job that Elba Studios, the guys who did it, I really like what they've done, and he was kind enough to share with me his paint scheme and how he's done them, and I'm pretty much copying the paint scheme because it's Market Garden and that's where I want to do it. But I've asked for Christmas, and I'm pretty sure Laura's been a good lady, and I think I've got all the. I can never remember the name. It's Steros, is it, or Heroes? Something Heroes. Basically, they do all the. Yeah, they do all the American airborne Easy Company guys. Basically, I've already got Dick Winters, so I don't need him. But there's like Bill Garnier, Paul Ranneman, Doc Rowe, Buck Compton, Harry Welsh, who's a lieutenant, so is Buck Compton, and I think it's Floyd Talbot or something. It's someone else. But there's loads of characters from the obviously the HBO series, but from Easy Company, and I want to do 1st, 2nd, and 3rd platoon because. Oh yeah, and Ronald Spears as well, but he was after Market Garden, so he's not going to be in it, I don't think.
Yeah, Ken, I've got that figure covered for you. It's in one of my bits boxes. I'll dig it out I think I know where it is, but I've not checked yet.
I'll do him as a captain because I'm going to do it around, like I said, I'm going to do it around Market Garden. But Dick Winters by that time was, I believe, he was the battalion. Company commander, actually. He was the company commander at that time, but he was still a 1st lieutenant. He might have been promoted to captain. I have to do some more research into it, but he wasn't a platoon commander, basically. But I want to do the 3 guys who were the platoon commanders and just do it properly, really, and try and get their weapons right as well. So it's going to be an interesting one. But I've never really done any historical accuracy of my bolt action stuff.
Do you know, I was just about to say that. Is that new? That sounds like a new thing for you. You've not really done that sort of real in-depth sort of I'm going to do this exactly as it is kind of thing.
For Second World War?
Right?
Yeah, 100%, yeah. So I just think the value for the box set is, it's really good and it's cheap. So I want to do it as well, so I can play Chain of Command with it. So I'll probably end up buying another starter box because you get another mortar and another load of machine guns and stuff for different platoons. So that's what I'm going to probably end up doing. Just keep buying the 40 quid start set. Go from there. But I've also been painting. I've done those old guard, but I'm painting up the guys for the cannon. I've finished painting the cannons and I've magnetised them both as well now. So all 3 of my cannons from Victrix are magnetised.
Cool.
Which I'm gonna do with all my guns now. I've realised if I get like 2 options, I'm just gonna magnetise them.
You're gonna magnetise your 6mm.
I'm not gonna magnetise my 6mm. No, because it's not more than one gun option. But yeah. Jesus Christ. What are you trying to do to me, Martin?
I don't know. I just think there'll be one point where you crack, and I think it'll be very simply something like you'll be painting, and as the end of your brush will just curl so slightly, and that'll be it, and you'll just Hulk out.
Love it.
I think it's quite a good idea though, especially with these Victrix guns to magnetise them.
I think the more options you can get. I mean, I know it's not a cannon. Well, kind of acts the same way in the game, but I've seen someone who's bought out Mordor Troll. The Lord of the Rings. It comes with the drums, and they make. Oh, there you go then. Yeah.
There he is. Here. Got take the weapon arm off. Put him on. Got the spears. Yeah, 100%. You got to do that.
I don't know why you'd ever take one just with drums on his own, but yeah, it looks cool. It's a good idea. If you can do it, and you can get that mileage out of a model, then go for it.
Tell you what though, this is some of that, Luke stuff, the APS stuff, right? And I tell you what, that blue has gone fucking solid. And that's been on there about a year, 2 years now. But that is rock hard, that is. It's not kidding.
That's cool, though.
Yeah, no, that's what I've been doing, guys. What we got to talk about this week? I was thinking about like titles of maybe games we're interested in playing, but we're never going to play.
Yeah, we've got a few questions in here that have popped up in the last
minute. Crack on with the questions. If anyone's got any questions, please ask.
Osmozzy says questions. Hello, mate. Well, we might as well start with his question, if that's cool then. He just said,
go for it.
What's our general feeling about playing against someone who has partially painted army or an unpainted army? But he says, sorry if this has been covered before. I can't remember.
No, that's all right. How new? Just asking quickly, how new are they as a player?
Yeah,
that's the next question. If they're brand new, I don't mind. But if and it depends what scene. I'd rather not play against someone with unpainted figures because I just think it breaks the immersion.
A lot of it depends on the age of the opponent. If they're a young kid and they're just starting out and they haven't got around to painting much, then that's fair enough. I think cut them some slack. As you say, if they're new to the hobby and they're just getting going, then yeah, fine. I mean, I'm not really going to be anal about it because, hey, what are you going to do? Go, well, that's not high enough quality to play against these figures or anything like that. I mean, that's bullshit. But I think it just spoils the game for me if it's not part of the attraction of gaming for me is the look of the game as much as anything else. And
100%.
Painted figures just annoys me a little bit.
I guess it depends on the type of game as well. Like, if it's like a little skirmish game where you only need like 3 figures, so like Dead Man's Hand, for example, a lot of that is visual. But if you just want to play a little game quite quickly and you just break the figures out, for some reason that doesn't bother me as much as say Black Powder, which would if I don't know why on a personal level it doesn't really. But if you've got all that terrain and all of that set out, and then you've got sort of half. I'd rather not painted than half painted. If that makes, I don't know why. Yeah. But I think that's just a click.
Yeah, I'm with
you. It depends as well if they've only just got them and they want to try them out, or is it someone that's had them for 5 or 6 years and just can't be asked? And come on, man, I've had enough playing against grey plastic, you know.
I don't think I'd never say no.
For me, it all depends on what type of player they are. This guy years ago, we used to play a lot of different games, but he had no interest in the hobby side. He just liked the tactical mindset of playing a tabletop game or a war game. No interest in painting models. He just liked playing games, and that was his whole thing.
Yeah.
Were just unpainted lead. He didn't care. He just didn't care. I remember remember years ago when the Dogs of War came out for Warhammer Fantasy Battle.
Yeah.
He bought the entire army and just played it completely bare metal. Never painted one figure at all. Just played that because that was his thing. He didn't care for painting or modelling or hobbying. Wasn't interested. He just wanted to play a tactical war game. So
I can understand if someone wanted to see how it be, but there's loads of board games and board games that board war games that do that. Like this game behind me, like God Tier. Look, this is a miniature skirmish game, but it's based on the board. So most people that I've seen haven't painted their miniatures, but I am. So, but there's loads of things that do that. Surely for wargaming or part of the hobby is they're painted, or you find some very good friends that will paint them for you.
Yeah.
See, I may be a bit controversial, but for me, there's a certain degree of lack of respect. If somebody's gone to a lot of trouble to paint their army and you couldn't be asked to paint yours, and they keep turning up week after week, without unpainted figures, I just think that to me that's just, I don't know, loses something. I say there's exceptions, like you say, if somebody's just got something into the hobby, or there's a new army, or they're just trying out, or what have you, that's different. But if they, like you're saying, Steve, somebody like that just keeps cropping up week after week, and it's like, that's
I ain't going to spend £100 on a game mat to play with plastic models, not painted.
Precisely. You've got lovely terrain. You've worked on your figures, and they may not be the very, very best in the world, but you spent your time doing it. You've got the terrain set up, you've got the map looking good, and then somebody plonks a whole load of unpainted plastic on the table. I don't know, just loses it for me.
I think these days I wouldn't say anything, but I'd feel like I was playing a sort of half-arsed game. Maybe that's just because maybe it's just because I'm a bit older now, and I appreciate the sort of the modelling and painting aspect of it. I mean, we can all agree there's nothing better than 2 painted armies on a tabletop with some nice terrain.
Yeah.
And I think by fielding, mass hordes of plastic, you're losing out on that aspect of it. But again, to each his own, though. I imagine seeing so on my bases might put people off ever playing against me, but I think everyone just you take from the game what you put in, really. But no, that's my 10 penneth anyway.
Good question.
Nice one.
Very good question.
Then, have you got any, Dom? I've got a couple more, but have you got any?
No, can you carry on? I'm just scrolling through my chat, so I'll find something.
They're all discussing about their other halves buying them things. I was thinking I should maybe she's sitting right near me, so she'll probably hear this. But I was thinking I should maybe buy Haley a unit. I'm getting eyeballed. But I was thinking maybe I should get Haley a unit to paint up of Napoleonics anyway.
Probably kill you.
She probably would, but I think it would be a laugh.
Mate, I'll tell you what. Do you know what'd be even funnier? She got right into it. I mean, proper right into it. Mate, that's like the best situation possible.
If she then wanted to paint all my miniature, all my cavalry, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah. They'd be hers then, though. That's the problem.
It's oh god, Lee, his wife does that, doesn't he? Because he said he's not into doing from Battlefield Bunker. He's not big into figures.
Yeah. Mel is she's absolutely fantastic painter. She really is. Really, really good stuff.
Painter.
There's a video they put on earlier this year, and it was Mel's Wood Elf army. I would recommend anyone watch that video. That is one of the most stunning armies I've seen in a long time. Fantastic work.
Not bloody elves.
Just Well Hungenden, there you go, I said it right that time, says, does anyone know how many King's German Legion regiments had rifles? I assume it was just all the light company, not the light companies, but the
the skirmishers. Basically, a lot of the light companies did.
Yeah.
The
second,
I don't know that anybody else did.
No, the line regiments were just armed the same. They were just armed with brown vests, weren't they?
Yeah.
Light regiments, I assume. And where are we? Someone's answered very quiet.
I'm bored doing Victrix bloody cannons. I hate it. Even though Rory from Culloden sent me the instructions on how to put these things together, they are bitches to put together. Jesus, I don't like it. Sorry.
Jay has asked, what's the quickest standard unit you can paint? I painted those 24 French Napoleonics in 2 evenings.
Because you're
so about 5 hours, including basing, something like that.
Depends how you want them painted. If you want them contrast and done, I could probably get you an army of Russians done within about 3 hours.
A Russian Second World War army, you could do bolt action. You could do really, really quickly. I mean, I think I did. I think you think I paint quickly, and I do. But my Japanese bolt action army, I've got hundreds of figures, and literally it took me a couple of hours to do them because it was just like spray paint, flesh tone, rifle, bayonets, bit of a wash, done. Basing. That was it. It was just so.
The quickest I've painted. I think the quickest I've painted was greens. I could get through a 12-man section in probably 2 evenings, a couple of after work each day. Say about 4 hours. all in for a complete. That's going from sprue to base, about 4 hours.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think, it's about spending. I mean, if you're going for Second World War type armies, then they are relatively quick to do, aren't they? I mean, they are.
Yeah.
Napoleonic's a bit longer. You do some of the sort of ancient period armies. Some of those are dead simple. I mean, you could knock out a whole load of medieval knights as well in real quick order, unless you're going to start doing all the heraldry on them, in which case it's going to take you a little bit longer. But yeah, I think it's
yeah.
depend. The Friends of General Haig says, I think part of the light company in the line KGL were rifle armed in 1815. Yeah, I think he's right. It wasn't everybody had rifles, but it was certain sections of their rifle, of their light companies, I think, had it.
Yeah. It's Leon. Leon, hello mate. He's just said it doesn't bother him playing unpainted armies because he'd rather have a game than not play because his opponent hasn't painted stuff. Yeah, I think that's just. I think it depends on because I'm in a lucky situation where all the people I mainly game with paint. They all. I'm not really in a position where people don't paint their stuff, so I think it's only not everyone's. It's either like someone's trying something out, and then usually the next time we meet up, it's painted. He does say though he's learned though that if he uses a unit unpainted, it's very unlikely to ever get painted. I think that's true as well. You've just got to persevere.
No, that's very true. Yeah. I used to know somebody who would literally he'd blue tack down his figures. I'll spray paint them white, and then blue tack them all down on pieces of card, and then use them for a while like that, and then slowly would chip away at painting them. And I mean really slowly. But at least you could see each time you played him, be another unit done or a couple of half a unit done, and it was sort of reasonable progress. And I could see that was, and he didn't have anything else. That was all he had. He didn't have masses of different armies, and that was his one army. And he was an ancient army, from what I remember. Yeah.
That's a good question, to be honest. I've got Imaginary Conflicts is saying here. He's played with grey plastic almost his entire wargaming life. Only been in October that I decided I had enough and started painting at least one night a week while listening to you guys on the stream. That's what we want to hear. That's what we want to hear. He goes, I still don't like painting very much though, forcing myself to enjoy. Have you tried contrast paints if you don't like painting very much? Honestly, contrast paints. If you don't like painting, contrast paints. That's all we'll say. A grey primer or a white primer, contrast paints. It's so quick and it's so easy. That's what you want to do.
Certainly is.
There's loads of videos on my channel. It depends what. Let us know what you're painting, and or drop us a message on the Facebook group on Miniature Wargaming Warriors, and let us know what you're painting, and we'll try and help you. Try and help you through it. Try and make it a bit easier.
I've got Nick Games has just said. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, carry on.
No, it's just cool. Nick Games has just said, correct him if he's wrong, but he thinks that I said that I was never going to paint Highlanders again because the tartan kilts were too painful. Yes. There we go. But the thing is,
there's transfers for those.
Yeah, there is, but I'm still not doing it again. Not for Napoleonics, anyway. I happened to. See, this is the problem because it was probably when did that set come out? The Metal Warlord Highlanders 3-4 years ago. And I got it when it came out, and that's when I did them. So it's been 3-4 years. So it's slowly wearing off the hatred for the tartan. And I was looking at the ECW Montrose army deal to do that, which I thought would be, because he's absolutely fascinating, this bloke, and the campaign that he waged in the north, and the way that he sort of ran rings is just amazing. I mean, obviously it didn't end great for him, if you want to see what happened to him, but you get these lovely sets of Highlanders and Montrose Irish, and you can mix them all together. And there's some, I can't remember the guy's name, but there's some lunatic with a massive claymore. That's some kind of like berserking Highlander that you can just chuck into units. I can't remember his name. Someone let me know in the chat. But yes, I don't want to paint tartan again. And but you've just bought a whole brigade, haven't you, Dom? That's free. A whole brigade. That's 3 battalions. isn't it?
Yeah, I've just got a whole brigade of Highlanders, and I've never painted tartan in my life, so I could well be in the same situation as you, mate.
There are transfers, though, in there. When there are transfers from now.
Yeah, but only for the Victrix ones.
And
why didn't you put that on your painting
be interesting.
list? Why didn't you get Ken to paint you tartan?
Okay. Yeah, why didn't I? Can I change that orc to a
no, you fucking can't.
Oh, actually, missed a trick there, didn't I? Shit, didn't even think of that. That nonsense. Damn.
Alistair Matt Collier is the Highlander. Is that right? Alistair
Yeah, that's it.
Collier.
Yeah. NI Miniature says the Ulsterman won it for him. Didn't he get killed?
He did get killed. Yeah, I'm not sure it went. I don't think it ended very well for him. Full stop.
Yeah.
I've always had a hankering after doing this. If you look in the Pike and Shot book, I can't remember which one it is now, but there's a couple of factions that are from sort of the Welsh border areas for a Royalist army, and they have Irish in them as well. I think I'm going to do that as my preferred Royalist army. Mind you, you've got Royalist as well, haven't you? So, Martin, so if we ever play, have to be a Royalist on Royalist Civil War.
Yeah.
Do you know what's really funny? I downloaded Cromwell yesterday. The film from 1970, and I started watching it. I was like, oh no! I started watching it. And I was like, oh no! There's a new period. I had to stop watching it.
Covenanters. You go on. You can be the Covenant. Lots of Scots Lancers.
No.
Leon has said.
I think.
Sorry.
Go on then.
No, go on, mate. Go on.
I was only going to say, I think a bit like Napoleonics. I think English Civil War battles en masse look superb. I think they're two of the best looking wargaming periods you can do. I've just dropped half a horse.
Leon has said that tartan's easy. It's hussars that are the killer. I would argue hussars. I'd argue hussars are worse than tartan.
I have asked for hussars for Christmas.
Do you ask them painted?
No.
Actually,
I asked for,
I've taken a little nod from Leon and Leon and Duncan, because they've been doing all these cool medieval colours, and I was watching their videos, so I don't even know if that's going to come out on there. But I've gone with stripy trousers, red and white trousers for my guy here. So watching other people's videos is while it's great seeing everything, it's bad because otherwise I think I was like, I know what I'm going to do with there, and then I should have just carried on with my English Civil War stuff.
I don't want to listen to Leon about his. Have you seen all these Landschnicks he did? Jesus Christ! Wow, they were.
Yeah, that was an impressive looking army. That.
Wow, wowza. Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Just do ECW and 6 mil. Yeah,
no,
that's easy.
Talking about that sort of period. So Battle Knights is asking, he's interested in the 30 Years War. Do we have a rule set? Does anyone have a rule set in mind for that, or is it just pike and shot? Do you know, I actually have no idea.
For what, sorry? The 30 Years War?
30 Years War.
Fire and Sword is 30 Years War.
Oh, is it? Okay. Fire and Sword. Okay.
Fire and Sword is 30 Years War. And then there's another one. I can't remember what it's called. That's going to annoy me. I'll try and find out and drop it in the comments. But yeah, there's another one. There's a bunch of source books for it. There's some guy who's done a really cool blog, and he's done a Swedish 30 Years War Force, and it looks really, really cool. And I can't remember the name. Is it an expansion for Beneath the Lily Banners? Is it an expansion for that? Maybe. I can't remember.
Possible.
That's going to really annoy me.
It is one of those periods that a bit like Marlburians, that attracts a very small, very niche, and very fanatical following. I think really, really big into it. 30 years, the Marlburians. I don't know. In my experience,
that was on sale as well. Warlord, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
They were on sale as well. I did see him. I was like, oh, there's a new project. There's so many things. There's just too much to do.
It's not enough space is the problem, or time to game.
Oh yeah, lads, I tell you what, that structure that I've done for that foam is just incredible. It works a treat. I'll have to take some pictures and send you. I'll get you some boxes. Seriously, I'm not saying how we got these, but how I came across these boxes. But tell you what, for storage minis, mate, I'll tell you what, it's a new way to go.
Nice. Devil's. Hang on, this is Friends of General Haig says Devil's Playground.
Devil's Playground rings a bell. Yeah, that.
Yeah, or Impetus Baroque.
Yeah.
Legions, and Peter Little says as well. And Friends of General Haig says, "I am that fanatical niche." Good on you, mate. I like it. Yeah, I think it's a really interesting period, but I've never gamed it, so I can't honestly say any particular favoritism for any rules. But it sounds like Impetus Baroque is the one to go for. Jason, there you go.
NI has just said, has anyone got any ideas for any late Tudor rule sets? That's a really weird period, isn't it? Though, because that's actually no, that is pike and shot really, but
yeah, it's the end of the longbow and crossbow era, heading into firepower, isn't it?
Yeah, we still had a lot of longbows, but because they're all on the Mary Rose, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
So,
by me, that is.
What, the Mary Rose?
Do you know what? Yeah, do you know what's really? I'll tell you what's really freaky, right? Is obviously I live right on the south coast, so I work in Portsmouth, and over Portsmouth there's Portsdown Hill. And obviously I can see the whole of the Solent from both sides of the Isle of Wight, right up the estuary into Southampton. And I thought about it the other day while I was sat there eating my lunch. I thought the amount of history that's gone on those bits of water there, for English history, from like the Mary Rose, World War II, all that. And I thought, it's crazy. I've got the history in front of me. It's proper nuts. And you don't think about it.
No, you don't. Right, well, I live in Cambridge, but like we've got all the universities, but it's been like we never get like sort of going, well, especially at the minute, obviously, but we never go and like look at them, or it's weird. It's just on your doorstep. You always go other places. That being said, didn't the when Mary Rose went down in that attack in the French invasion, didn't they manage to invade the Isle of Wight and like set everything on fire?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, supposedly, yeah, supposedly.
But that's what's even funny is you just see all this history. It's like there's loads of Roman history in Southampton. There's loads of Tudor stuff, and like it's like I was telling you guys about where Churchill and Eisenhower spent D-Day. Christ, I keep forgetting its name. It's something Manor, right? But it's on our patch where we work, and I was in there working, the other week, and I was thinking, this is like proper history, and I'm not even nerding out. What am I doing? I need to spend 20 minutes just having a look around. Do you know what I mean? Like you hear about it in the audio books and stuff like that, and I'm like, I was just there today.
It's true though, isn't it? You take it for granted, a lot of those sort of things. It's weird.
Oh, 100%.
It is weird.
100%.
It's like, I used to commute up to London a lot when I was younger, and even that sort of thing, you think, well, I never actually go and spend any time looking at things in London, and you just go to from London and what have you. So then occasionally just sort of make the effort to go and have a look around and do a few of the things. But the only other time you do it is when you have friends visiting from afar, and you go, oh, come on. Because I got Windsor Castle just down the road from me. And the only time I ever go there, or ever used to go there, was with visitors from out of town. And you say, they wanted to go and see Windsor Castle, so you go there.
Yeah, we get
every weekend, but you were around there. It's ridiculous.
We get the same thing with punting. People come to Cambridge, we want to go on the punts, and you're like, really? Okay. Yeah. And I used to, very, very long time ago, used to work on it. So when we go down the backs of the colleges, I always find myself giving the tour again. It's like, look, this is where this happened. This is the bridge that never actually got taken apart, and this is where some students threw something off a bridge. This is where some students did this. This is where some students did that. So it's weird, isn't it? It's
yeah, definitely. I mean, like I say, especially like from our American viewers and things like that. a lot of Americans, I find when they come here, they want to see all that sort of stuff. I've bumped into quite a few Americans, and they ask me where this is in Portsmouth and where that is and stuff. And you're thinking, you've come all the way from the States just to come here. I just think it's nuts.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. I used to live in a village just outside. Actually, I used to live in a village outside Chester, and Chester, a Roman town, and you go for a wander around Chester, and it just opens your eyes to I can actually see the Roman architecture around. It's so. And it's so. Like I say, I just spend so long there, you just take it for granted, but until you realise just how old it is and the history of the place, yeah, it really does make you think. But yeah, Chester's a very, very popular tourist destination.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I tell you what, it's not a very popular place with my eldest daughter. When she was looking at universities back in the day, we would try. You did the old parent thing, taking them around the universities to show them what and the open days and what have you. And we drove up from our place to Chester, and it's a long old schleck. So we drove up there, and she was really mopey and horrible all the way up there. And we got there, we pulled into the car park, and there was some guy from the university dressed up as a Roman legionary, and she went, "I'm not coming here," and that was that.
Yes, fair.
Okay,
so,
speaking
they
of
obviously
Chester,
thought it was a really cool idea, but not for Estelle, it wasn't.
speaking of Chester, this is how nerd stuff can really impress people. Years and years ago, I was in have you ever heard of an 80s nightclub called Flex? All they do is play really crappy 80s music. Anyway, I don't know whether it's just a northern thing. Anyway, I met a woman there, and it turned out she was Finnish. And outside, I was a bit inebriated, and I started talking about the Winter War and the Continuation War. and she was dead impressed that I knew the history of fight the Russians. I was like, yes. See, sometimes it does pay to be a complete nerd.
You pulled on the Winter War.
You managed to get inside the knickers of some lady based on your historical knowledge. I don't believe it. That's extraordinary. Well done.
Oh, come on. It didn't go that far. But she was impressed with my knowledge of the Continuation War and the Winter War. She was. I don't know what. Because I didn't in the club. I didn't know she was Finnish. It wasn't until we got outside that she told me she was Finnish, and I was like, "Really?" Anyway, as soon as she told me she was from Finland, I just started talking about or two.
Oh my goodness, I love it.
Oh dear. Matt Mayles said that he lives right near Bosworth Battlefield, but he's never been there.
Oh my God.
I mean, to be fair, that was the bad battle. That's where it all goes wrong. But yeah, just go in there.
And there's not an awful lot to see there, to be honest, though, is there? To be fair.
Well, yeah, and also they've now the battlefield site is not changed, but it's been expanded slightly to because they've got the exact location wrong. So they've now had to kind of move the scheduled monument. Also, it kind of coincides with HS2 because they were trying to build through that. So there was a huge petition
government
to stop that. But they seem to be targeted. I don't know if it was just the Wars of the Roses, but nearly every Wars of the Roses battlefield HS2 is kind of going through.
Weird, isn't it?
I was doing some research for my next War of the Roses video. For everyone that keeps on asking me to do one, there is one coming. But it's
what, like winter?
Huh?
What, like winter?
Yeah.
In Game of Thrones, it's coming.
It is coming eventually. Yeah, they're all sort of through that central part in the Midlands, and there's loads of them going up there. So and HS2 seems to be targeting all of them.
Pretty funny, to be fair. It's like, what the fuck?
Battle Knight says, crazy. Yeah, it's weird. For more than 20 years, he lived down the road from a star fort in South Africa. Never went. But in the UK, he's been to everything there is to see. It is a weird wind. Well, I don't know about you, but I always, whenever I go on holiday with the family, somewhere. Luckily for them, they're all getting too much older. They don't want to go with us very much anymore. But it was always the sort of dad's tour to drag them off to whatever historical site he could find, or any castles or anything else.
Yeah, yeah.
That was my allowance. I was allowed a couple of trips like that.
Yeah, that's my thing. We went to Hastings last year, so I dragged them round Hastings, Tamworth, where else? Lots of other places. What's the really nice castle nearby on the way back? Bodiam. Bodiam. Yeah, it's beautiful, but it's still quite.
Do you know what you should tell? You know what you should tell Haley, mate. Every time you want to do something now, the 95th Rifles came here. The 95th Rifles came here.
Yeah,
and she'll go.
She probably would actually. She probably would, especially if she knew it irritated me. She'd do it.
Graham Fennell says Tewkesbury battle reenactment is a must every year.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I want to go to one of those. I've not managed it so far, and I really do. I was going to go and do that. What's the thing? You probably know it, Martin. The
Sorry.
Oh, it's a whole week-long historical festival that happens somewhere.
Oh, history, not history in action. That's what it used to be called. It's called Is it the Festival of History? The one that
something like that. Somewhere down the south somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah. It used to be closer this way. It used to be closer this way, but then the place it was held, for some reason, said it didn't want it done there anymore because why would you want revenue? They moved it.
I really want to do that because it looks great fun, and it's literally a week-long nerd out, lectures and history and reenactors and all sorts of shit going on. I'm going to go there. I've decided. I was going to go this year, but then the world came to an end, so that was that.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I've always been
that sort of thing. Do you like reenactors and that sort of thing?
Do I like
never
like them? Or...
Sorry? I've never been.
I know that Miller's a reenactor, so I'm going to say yes, I like reenactors, and I know he's watching. No, I do like reenactors. No, I do like reenactors. I have looked at it a couple of times. I looked at War of the Roses stuff. You know, but I think it's something to do potentially when the kids are older. I know Miller's talked about it, and I think he said it was great. You know, he loved it. I know a couple of other people who've done Viking reenactment, and they said they just battered the crap out of each other all day and then drank beer. So that sounds fun.
Sounds fun.
I think it would be. I mean, I guess again, it would probably depend on your company. I think some people do take it very, very, very seriously, and I suppose you have to. I was looking at like the 95th Rifles one, funnily enough, because we went to see them at Westow Village near me. I took my daughter to see them, but Hayley wasn't very well, so we couldn't go. But I was kind of like looking, and it's like, you know, if you're going to do it, you've got to get into it, and you know, because they have not an image to portray, but they've got a reputation to portray as well, and they want to take on the period and, you know, give it that feel and entertain people as well. So if you turn up wearing your sunglasses and Casio watch, I can see them getting a bit annoyed. Yeah, I like them. Ken, did you say you've never been to a reenactment?
Never been. No.
Oh, mate.
Never.
Oh, mate, you've got to do it. You've got to do it. I love them.
Technically, it's Bovington Tank Museum a reenactment when it's Tank Fest, because I've been to that.
Well, there was people probably in World War II.
I mean, they have the reenactors there, don't they?
Yeah.
There are reenactors there. I think some of those are great fun. I really enjoyed them. But I don't know whether I'd actually joined them. Many years ago, I was my neighbours over the road from where we used to live, they were in, it wasn't the sealed knot, it was the other lot. Apparently there was some falling out in the English Civil War reenactment society.
Was it between the Royalists and
that would have been very neat, wouldn't it? But no, I think it was a bit more messy than that. Anyway, I don't know what they were called, but whatever. They were in the other lot. They weren't in the sealed knot, and they'd always get very angry if you said, "Oh, the sealed knot on them." Anyway, but they were in it, and they were always trying to recruit me into it. But then they'd follow it up with things like, "Oh, you'd make a great pikeman," and then they describe all the injuries that all the pikemen got in the reenactments. And I thought that's not really a selling point, you know, hearing about people losing eyes and getting dislocated shoulders and elbows and all this kind of stuff, so I didn't do it.
Do you know what, Dom? That's uncanny. When they tried to recruit me at my mate's wedding, to me the first thing they said to me was, "Oh, you'd make a great pikeman." I was like, "Really?"
Are they short on pikemen or
yeah,
something?
they didn't end up recruiting me in the end. No, it's because I'm a tall bugger. They just thought I'd be like some kind of. I mean, back. I mean, if you take me back in time to the 1600s, people would worship me like a god.
You'd been a grenadier for sure back in Napoleonic days.
They just made you king. Well, Edward, Edward IV. He was 6'4" out of armor, and then they put him in his armor, and he was like 6'8", and he was rampaging around the battlefield. There was some questions about his parentage. Not that anyone ever really wanted to say it to his face, because you wouldn't. So yeah, you would just be made king of the earth. No, that'd just be.
I'd be like. All right, lads, I am now officially your master. Where's the castle at?
Where's the castle? I don't need no trebuchet, mate. I'll just smash the wall down.
Just step over it, yes.
Actually, friends of General Hayes says he lost a tooth in a sealed knot, but also gained a wife. Different weekend, he said. 13 Commons. Yeah. It's a bloody business. Well, I mean, look at the Perrys. I mean, he lost his arm playing reenactment. So it's a day. I remember the guys over the road, Sharon and Tony, I think the name were, and they had a cannon, and they'd sit out. I'd come home some weekends and they
had a cannon.
Whatever they were. They had a proper cannon, and it was sitting on the driveway, pointing at our house. It was like, oh, thanks very much, guys. Apparently, you only needed a shotgun license to have one of them, so that was all you needed in those days. I don't know whether it's still true, but
that frantic tapping you can do is looking it up.
I can't imagine help but feel that that's some kind of rudimentary CCTV system. I haven't got a camera; I've got a cannon though.
It was the most bizarre thing, and the idea of them all, because there's an awful lot of alcohol involved in most reenactments, from what I can see, and particularly English Civil War stuff. And the thought of them all handling firearms and shotguns and cannons and stuff when they're drunk as much ale as they've drunk just fills me with trepidation as well. But there you go.
Miller's cast, as he said, they always want more pikemen because the bigger the pike block, the more likely you are to win the push of pike.
There we go. Insider.
So you're just in there for the meat grinder to feed the machine.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel less important.
Carl says trespassers will be shot, survivors will be shot again. Yeah, probably right actually. That shotgun. Mind you, I'm not sure you want to go near that. They had pike in their loft and they had muskets in a strong box in the back of the house. It was like a freaking I don't know, Texans' dream, I think.
Had 6 cannons if they were Texas. We got very sidetracked then.
We have completely, haven't we? Apparently, there's a really good weekend D-Day around. How is it? Carentan. There's a good weekend in the summer around D-Day. Not this year.
101st Airborne. 506. That's where Easy coming from.
Graham says Tank Fest is amazing. Yeah, I've been there a few times. It's great fun. Really good way to see it.
It is good. It is good.
I know,
indeed.
Peter, I haven't found half a horse. He's disappeared. I'll have to find him later. I dropped half a horse under the desk. No, don't worry, it's gone. Never mind. I'm going to look back.
I just want to get these cannons painted. Well, the cannons are painted. I just want to get these men painted. Shit, I missed
Leslie
that.
says, Tom, if all those figures you paint so quickly, how come your stash is so big? Because I keep buying more, Leslie. That's all. Simple as that.
Yeah. And he doesn't sell them.
No, don't sell them. Never sell them. Yeah, and Peter says, Leslie, it would take months for Dom to catch up with the size of his garage collection. Yeah, it would. I keep thinking they might run out, That's all.
Ooh. Do you get cold sweats about that? Is that what keeps you up at night?
Dom, I've seen that bunker, mate. They ain't running out.
They might do, mate. They might do. Friends of General Haig says, if you like Montrose, you should read about McCullough, who led the Irish Brigade. Alistair McCullough. Maccalla. The Devastator. Oh,
that might be him actually. That rings a bell. The Devastator.
I think it's the
Devastator.
It's the guy. I think it's the one he said earlier.
Okay. And Leslie puts in a thing for Maximilian in Mexico as being one of the most colourful periods. Yeah, probably true actually. Then I don't know much about that. Only just occasionally random magazines do stories on that period, so I don't really know an awful lot about it. But it does look very pretty picture-wise.
Should we just do like 20 minutes of trying to talk about a game system that we want to play that we are never getting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, can do.
Yeah, should we kick it off then? What's
the criteria? A game system that you've always wanted to do but will never do it. Is that what it is?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. Like, just for what reasons? What reasons are going to stop? For me, it's all the old ships. It's the ships, like what's it called? I'm trying to think. Like the new Warlords got their, 1/600 scale ships, but like
the Black Seas.
Yeah, that's it. Like that. I just can't see me ever
What
doing
then?
it. Yeah, that's what I should have got you to paint. Damn it. I should have just put rigging and then just left it at that.
Oh no, no.
No. I just think I want to play it, but I just don't think I'm ever going to do the models for it. So if I ever play, it'll probably be with your models, Dom. To be honest, because you've got quite a lot, haven't you? It's like a taste again.
Yeah.
Because I just can't see me doing it. The ships just no. Just no.
The ships are easy to make and paint. It's the rigging and the sails just a nightmare.
No, I just find the painting a nightmare, to be honest. I don't know why.
I've only made two. I did a big one and a small one, and then once I crammed my sanity back into my ear, I stopped and never did any more.
No, you feel. I didn't even get the rig. I only even got the sails on any of mine. It's just depressing. Absolutely depressing. But yeah, that's for me.
I really
100%.
didn't find it that hard to do, to be honest. I really, really didn't see the actual ship painting that difficult. But I know I certainly understand the rigging. But the painting just
it's not too bad, is it?
Problem with that is actually because people have been put off doing it. Not many people have actually bought that many ships that I know, and so actually getting games in is quite tricky. Which is why I've ended up buying effectively enough for 2 fleets. It's like you say, Ken. So if somebody wants to have a game, I've got enough both sides, even if they are both British. But
I didn't the actual painting of the ships. I didn't mind. They were dead easy. It was just the same way I normally paint. A lot of browns followed by a wash and highlights. But when it comes to put the sails and the rigging on, I just thought, what fresh level of hell have I entered here?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Absolutely with you on that. Although I did find a really simplistic way of doing the rigging, which actually I thought worked reasonably well, and I was quite pleased with it. I mean, instead of doing the thing, I don't know what level of hell that the detail in the magazine tried to tell you to do it, but I literally did loop over this, back over this, loop over that, and that's it. That'll do. And it sort of looks okay from a distance. The other thing was somebody was selling on Facebook, through Facebook, 3D printed ones which had the sails already on them, and they were a lot easier. They were really easy. So all you had to then do is just get a little bit of the twine and just loop it round a couple of times, and that was enough. But yeah, no, Peter, I haven't got any French ships. I've got some Swedish ships. I've got some pirates, but no French.
He owns a load of cavalry.
He painted a cavalry unit the other day. There you go. I have French cavalry now.
Sachet Cheval. Dear, oh dear.
23rd, Chasseurs à Cheval. And I might do the 24th at some point, but I haven't got a box of them yet.
Dear. Buying more French. What are you doing, Dom? What are you doing?
Yeah.
So what about you, Dom? What's it for you?
Oh my god!
You got one?
I would love to do. Actually, the only one I would love to do, which I guess it's a bit of a cheat because I have actually gamed it, but I've never owned any figures, so I'm going to expand the category a bit. So I really enjoyed doing Mulbarian period. I played a game down at the club fairly recently. One of the guys down there, well, obviously not recently because nothing's been going on for a year, but I played a game down there of 15 mil Mulbarians where one of the guys down there had written his own rule set for it. And I really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed it. And I would love to do that, but I know I'm never going to. I'll never say never, but I'm not going to buy any figures for that because it's too much. And I don't know anybody else that would do the other half apart from this guy. And he's got all the armies I'd ever need anyway, so it would be pointless. So I'm not going to do it. But I think it's a really interesting period. And I think, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago about cavalry not being particularly effective in black powder games. In Mulbarian, they're effective. And I think that's one of the things that really appeals to me is that actually cavalry play a big part in the battles. And I quite like the idea of playing more of that, but I'm not going to build an army, that's for sure. Maybe 6 mil. No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
There's a present idea for you then. What about you, Mine?
I really want to play, but don't want to get into it purely because I know that I will spend a lot of money, and I will want to make a massive board, and I want to buy the potions. Is that Blood and Plunder game? The pirate ones with you're talking about boats, but we're talking 28 mil scale. I will want a galleon. I will want the figures look really nice. The system looks really nice. I was watching. Did you see Medieval Warrior? Did you see Nick's interview with the guy? Who runs it? They're cool. I've watched some of the games on Beasts of War. They always look fun. I like it that you've got land and you've got sea stuff going on at the same time. They've just done. I didn't back the Kickstarter they just did. I deliberately didn't even go and look on the page. And yeah, that's it. I mean, I guess I could never say never, but I'll want to make a big board with water, sea, land, and a port town, and I just know it's not going to be a simple case of we're going to have a skirmish game with some boats. It will expand drastically. So that's mine. That's mine.
Good one.
Yeah, it's a fair comment that because, like you say, it's the scale that kills it for you, isn't it? That's the problem. It's the scale, isn't it? If it's
but I would want it. That's it. Yeah, I think it looks amazing. The models look awesome, and I think the Kickstarter is partly raising. So it's multi-part plastic, so you can just build. You can customize your crews. 'Cause at the moment, I think they're all metals. But so but it's the size of board. Being able to play it and do it justice, I think, is what's putting me off of it.
Yeah, 100%. No, that's a good one, mate. What about you, Steve?
Mine's controversial.
Oh dear. You better not say anything beginning with a G.
No, Rogue Trader 40k original edition.
Right. Okay. You never. That is a bit controversial.
I'd love to play it, but no. If I was to any of my gaming friends, if I was to suggest, all right, lads. Who fancies a bit of a Games Workshop game? I'd probably be thrashed with it into my life.
You probably
for me, it's just the exactly. For me, it's the nostalgia aspect. It was the game that got me into tabletop gaming. It's such a I've said it a million times, but it's such a bizarre rule set. whenever I think of original 40k, it just reminds me of just really, really happy gaming days. And yeah, I mean, I think it's of an age. I think it's what are they on now? Is it like 15th edition or 21st edition or something? I'm really not sure. But for me, that will always be my go-to 40k. My go-to 40k game will be original 40k, but it would mean buying Space Marines and orcs and painting them up.
You've got old Space Marines, mate. Do old Space Marines.
But what I was going to do on this journey to Rogue Trader 40k, for some reason, best known to no one, I bought Betrayal at Calth a few years back, just because I wanted the Heresy Marines out of it. But I've never painted them. So what I was going to do, I was going to paint a couple of squads up in like 40k Rogue Trader colours, like mad colour schemes, and then buy some orcs and just replay Battle of the Farm from the original book. But yeah, I don't think it'll be a game that would really take off amongst people that I know. So, but I'd like to. But the chances of actually happening are yes. That if people would want to play an original game of Rogue Trader 40k with me, I'd be mostly appreciative of it.
I've got orcs, so you can use orcs. I've got a whole army of orcs. Those Space Marines are a gig to put together, though, Steve.
I know. I think I painted 5 of them, then got bored.
Is that a beer?
That is,
beer o'clock.
It is a bit, yeah.
I spoke really quietly as well.
Beer serving coming in.
I come in here to get you a drink.
Oh, no, you're very kind.
What's that? Where's it? Excuse me, Laura. Can you come get me a drink, please?
Thank you very much.
Haley's doing it for Martin.
An elusive arm.
Thank you.
The Haley arm comes through.
The Haley arm, yeah.
What about you, Ken? What are you going to do? What are you going to do, Ken?
I've done mine. Did mine first.
Oh, he did, didn't he? He did.
Yeah.
It went on so long, I've forgotten.
Yeah. Hey, I've got a question.
Go on, you go, Steve.
Well, carry on, Dom. No, carry on.
I was Battle Knights just said World War One, like the Somme or something. He'd like to do that, but probably never will. Seems to be very, very popular at the moment. World War One seems to be, because I think is it War Games Atlantic range have come out, and I think a lot of people. I know Beckus has done a load, and seems to be very, very popular.
I tell you what. I only messaged you guys the other day. I think I sent you before the models for that. Is it Eagles of Empire or Empire of Eagles?
Oh yeah.
The Franco-Prussian stuff. But I can't find any. War Games Illustrated have done some reviews of the models, and they look amazing. The cavalry are metal multi-part kits that you can customize that look awesome. I ended up reading about loads of Franco-Prussian war battles. You got the Krupp artillery pieces. They look really nice. They've got their own rule set, but I cannot find any reviews or anything anywhere. So part of me was like, oh, it might be worth buying and then do a review of it. But the models look lovely. They've got this like awesome like starter set, but I can't find anything about it, and they don't have like the most up-to-date page that I can see. So I don't know if you guys or any in the comments, but the stuff in that looks cool. It really does.
They do look lovely. I mean, that is, and that's a really interesting war. I mean, just sort of that they talk about sort of changeover of tactics in the First World War from sort of I guess from Napoleonic and stuff. But actually, that one probably more than any other was the changeover of tactics.
That one kind of sows the seeds, doesn't it, for everything that's to come.
Does everything's come.
Yeah, when the Prussians have
the only thing worried me with that again, it would have to be one of those periods where you'd have to buy everything. Yeah, because the chance of anybody else having it are pretty slim. Yeah, but those models did look really nice. Yeah, really nice.
Bit in it. Is there anyone got any questions in the chat, or what were you going to say, Steve?
Steve was going to say.
Oh yeah. This is just something that I've been thinking about recently. And it's about me getting up. It was originally brought on by me getting old. So, as I'm aging in years, I got to thinking about painting. And do you think that there's with the general painting and hobby, more so painting, do you think there's a period where you plateau in your painting, where you just reach a level and you can't go any further than that? You just think you've reached that level and you've plateaued and you'll always stay at that level?
That's a really good question.
It's a really good question. As probably definitely the oldest of all of us here, I would say actually my painting has got better than it ever has as I've got older. But then I think that's probably because it started at a very, very low level, so it was pretty shit. And it isn't until I sort of came back into the hobby, a couple of years ago, or spent a lot more time and started repainting figures and stuff like that, I really started to get better. Because I put a lot more effort into despite the rattling new figures, I put more of an effort into it, and sort of looked at things a bit more sensibly than I had previously. But I honestly don't think, personally, I think you probably do plateau. I mean, I think practice makes perfect for sure, and the more you do things, the better you get. But I think there probably is a limit. And when your eyesight starts going a bit crappy and your fingers are a bit difficult to do all the detail work, then you will struggle, I'm sure.
Yeah. I've got to admit, I've only been painting, it's like my third year in the hobby now. I've been painting 3 years and my painting's improved leaps and bounds in 3 years. I would never have been able to paint the detail I would have done day one, but I don't know if there's a plateau. It's a really good question, Steve, to be honest. I definitely got somewhere in a plateau of my World War II stuff, but I think that was down to habit of how I was painting more than anything else. But then I did some Napoleonics, and then I've gone back to World War II. And the Napoleonics taught me different techniques, and I've applied that to my World War II. And now I've done those paratroopers, and they're probably some of the best they are the best bolt action models I've painted so far. Easy.
Yeah,
I know.
Battle Knights makes a very good point, which I think echoes what you're saying there. He's saying there's a lot more advice on hand now than there ever was, and I think that's true. I think if you spend time looking in how other people do things, pick up techniques, look at the sort of better paints, the better brushes that are out there, how to use shade, how to use highlights, all that kind of stuff, then I think there's no reason why you shouldn't get better. But I think there probably is a physical. I mean, my mate Alec, who I game with a lot, he always says because he's getting on a bit now, and he always says his figure painting is not as good as it was, just because his eyesight's not as good and his finger control isn't as good as it was. Still pretty good, to be fair, but so I think there is a limit physically, but I think experience and practice makes up for that for a long period.
Not rushing it away, but I'm looking forward to see what my painting looks like in another 10 years' time. I think it'll just get better and better.
Well, the reason I say that is because I think my golden age of painting was probably when I was between the age of about 20 to 25. I think that was when I was at a level that I was really happy with. Then I was out the hobby for a while and stopped painting, and I did it on and off. I kind of sort of got back into the hobby in about 2012, but my painting back then was largely bonk. It was a bit crap. But I think over the past 5 years, my painting levels got better and better and better. But I think now I've reached the top. I'm just comfortable in painting. I think I'll ever get back to how in my sort of early 20s. That was when I was painting a lot better. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe just forgotten things.
I don't know, but those Napoleonics you did the other were bloody good.
Yeah. And those undead samurai that you're going to paint are going to be really cool as well.
Can't wait for that Colonel Command base, mate. Oh, literally. Dom, you're going to get some wacky kit bashed up, Dom. You're going to get. It's going to be interesting.
The thing is with painting, those I put those some pictures recently on the face. Those Space Hulk Terminators that I painted last year. They're probably the best stuff I've painted in 15 years, and it's because I took my time over them. I didn't rush. I didn't speed paint. Those 5 took me about 2 weeks to finish because I put that amount of time into them. So I think if I was to slow down and just concentrate more on what I'm doing, I probably could get to a better level. But
you're already at that. You're at that level.
I'm just stuck in my bolt action painting ways.
You're at that level though, Steve. You're at that.
Yeah,
level.
but I think
you don't do it at a speed. You do it at a slower pace. So that is your level. You're just doing a different type of technique, aren't you?
It's like when the Napoleonics. I mean, they took me so bloody long to paint. It was unbelievable.
You still got 4 to do, and yeah.
Yeah, they've been put away until next year. I'm off Napoleonics till next year.
Oh man!
Do you think, Steve, that's partly the fact that it's something new? You know, because you do. I mean, we take the mickey, but you do an awful lot of bolt action and German type troops. You know, the fact that you found Napoleonics difficult was just because it was something so different from what you would normally do.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought they were excellent, but yeah.
For me, it was color choice.
Blue.
I mean, I've gone from greens and browns and greys, where ink hides a lot of mistakes. Seeing dudes with white trousers. I mean, that for me that's a culture shock. That. That's something I meant to show you as well. Do you remember last week I was talking about using big plastic chunky figures to play bolt action with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've started painting one.
Okay.
I love it. I love it.
Nice.
Oh, dude.
Actually looks alright, doesn't it?
For some reason, I found a bunch of them in. I've got a drawer in the kitchen. It's like the gates of hell. Actually, no, everyone's got a drawer they keep crap in.
Yeah.
And I found a bunch of toy soldiers in there. I don't know how they got there or where they're from, but they just appeared there. So I'm currently painting one of those.
Send us a picture on the group at some point.
I will do that. It's actually, do you know what? For penny toy soldiers, they're really quite well sculpted. I was quite shocked.
Brilliant. I love it. So that would be really good for something like that skirmish game.
I was just thinking that. I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
You want something to aim for. CrackCon, Operation Squad in that millimeter. You just need to make a building so that we can fight over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. It would be perfect for that, fighting at a larger scale, with only 4 guys. But then you've just got to do the scenery to match.
Any problem.
where a 28mm road becomes a garden path.
Got some other suggestions for periods to go for. So Doug Noble says the US-Mexican War is one he'd like to play. I think that'd be kind of interesting. That whole Alamo, Texas. I think that would be fun. I could see myself doing that as a sideshow from doing the Dead Man's Hand myself.
Yeah,
that'd be quite fun.
Brush and Quiller said he wants to do Test of Honor at 54mm, so 54mm samurai. I mean, we've gone 6mm samurai. We've gone the opposite way.
Jesus, gone the other way entirely.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That being said, I am going to dig my Test of Honor stuff out because I want to play it. I want to play it again and get the second edition rules, and I think I've got enough for 2 armies, so I will dig them out.
I think that would be the one thing that would break me is doing samurai armor. I just have a feeling that's just going to be at that kind of scale where you have to get the detail absolutely perfect. I think Yeah, I think that would finish me off somehow.
You were lucky then, Dom. You were lucky.
Yes, I'm saying that now because otherwise you would have picked it. I know you would have done and fixed the
I've suddenly got Ken suddenly has a hankering to do a samurai army.
It's out of nowhere, isn't it?
You'll let Steve. There's some really nice stuff in there. There's in the Bushido thing. There's some stuff that you can just that is all just looks like the little girl from The Ring. It's just like it's just a kid
sweet.
wearing white with like a just looking scary. It just looks like I've put loads of cornflakes.
I'll have to have a bit of a chibi through the rains, see what it's like.
So a couple of points about age and painting. So Leslie says experience comes with age. You need to get to know your paints and mediums. When you get older, when you get older, your eyesight goes, and if you're unlucky, arthritis will get into the joints and affect your hands. And Friends of General Haig says, I think you reach a point where you need some more stimulus to make an advance. I moved from acrylics moved to acrylics from enamels a few years ago, and that made a huge difference. And then I needed glasses as well. Yeah, physical stuff definitely has that impact. That is for sure.
See, the thing is,
Sorry, carry on, mate.
No, I was going to say I wear glasses, but I don't wear glasses to paint. Over 3 feet, I'm blind, can't see diddly shit. But from close up, I can paint quite well. So hopefully that's not going to affect me.
So you're nearsighted. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the other way around.
Yeah.
I can see distance. I can't see up close.
Trust me, I've seen him trying to read a rule book.
That's true. Make it up, that's what I normally do.
Yeah, we'll just go with that. Yeah, that's a good quote, isn't it?
Yeah, whatever.
Just whatever's fun. Just fun. That's all we want to do. Fun.
Just roll the dice, see what happens.
And you know I'm gonna roll well, so it's like, you bastard.
I've just sat here gluing cork tile, bits of broken up cork to his base, and then I think it looks like I've just stuck loads of cornflakes on it. Like I was just trying to do it like she's bursting out the ground, so she's coming up like that. So I thought I'll just break up those bits, and it looked like I've just got loads of.
It does look like cornflakes. Well done.
Yeah.
Are you going to go into the whole aesthetics on what kind of cornflakes to use or what cereals to use and all that kind of thing? I know how you get obsessive about basing.
Yeah, I'll try out with different brands. I'll try Kellogg's against our local convenience store home brand and see which one is the superior basing product.
Good plan.
I've used lentils on bases before. On a board.
Yeah, I've used tea. Cut open a tea bag and used that as a flock, and lemongrass as well.
A lot of people use herb, don't they? They use dried herbs.
Yeah.
As basing material.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Not
US Marines.
those taught you to.
They're you become remarkably unproductive when you use it as well. Just hungry. That's what I said to Kaiser. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
topic again.
Yeah, mixed herbs is a fantastic base material for jungle scrub. Really looks. And dead easy to apply. So yeah, I always use it.
So here's a question. I know we're coming towards the end of the whole thing, but what's the most bizarre material that you use regularly or fairly regularly when you're doing projects? You know, like herbs or tea, things like that.
I don't. Just quite weird. I just tend to stick to products, normal stuff. I'm quite a normal person, I guess, compared to you three, by the sounds of it, which I never thought I'd hear. Yeah,
I'm slightly. I don't know whether to be offended or happy about that. I'm a bit confused.
I think the weirdest stuff I use is kitty litter.
Clean.
Oh yeah,
obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel we can escalate this. Come on.
I use filter coffee.
What?
Nice.
I use filter coffee. Not instant.
You use stuff, yeah.
Instant won't work. So it's got to be filter coffee. Ground coffee.
For what?
I use it in my ground covers. So when I'm making my ground covers, this stuff here, so that I can put it straight onto bases. Yeah, we do. So this stuff here is mixture of clays and ground coffee,
Colombian homebrew,
and other bits and bobs and sand and bits of colour ground, and that's what goes straight onto my bases because I don't have to paint them. Then it's just dirt and you just glue it on. But yeah, that reeks of coffee. But it's because it's darker and it soaks up the glue. So I use coffee. I couldn't find anything dark. The soil around here is quite light, and I don't really like digging soil out the garden because we've got a cat. So I don't know what I'm going to end up with because our cat prefers to go outside. He doesn't like going inside unless he absolutely has to. He'll hold it for a day rather than go inside. So I don't know where to say. So yeah, filter coffee. There you go.
On my
I haven't heard that one.
On my hobby shelves, I've got so there's a big bag of kitty litter. There's a coffee thing full of lemongrass. I've got plastic containers with thyme and parsley. It doubles up as a sort of a massive, great big casserole, a spice rack.
I can say you must make a really good roast dinner.
But I know I've used. I mean, I use them all the time. I've used tea before. I've ripped it out. I've mixed it with PVA. I just think you can turn most things into other uses, especially food stuffs as well.
I've used chinchilla sand. It's about as radical as I get. That's about it for me.
I have to say, I don't use an awful lot. I have to say, I told the story about where I tried to use some earth from the ground out in the garden and dried it out in the oven, and he set the house on fire. That was kind of put me off a bit by doing a lot of things. Never do that, children, or never leave it in the oven for 20 minutes and walk off and leave it when it's
things
full
burn.
of bits of wood. They tend to.
Yeah. I've just thought of another one that I use as well. It's called Koya, and it's chopped up coconut husk.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh yes.
Where'd you get that from?
I think I've used some of that for making bushes and stuff. Is that what it was?
Yeah, that's what.
I used it when I made those. I made a couple of log bunkers. I needed something to like dug up earth, and I found this great big bag of the stuff. So that, and also rubberized horsehair for hedgerows.
One of my
I need some of that.
I used what my cat donated some fur for use on a war machine on a hordes model because I wanted to do like a saliva drip like coming out of its mouth. So I found that my hair was too fine, but my cat was nearby. Anyway, he donated the hair, and then once I'd put some plasters on, I ran the hair, but you just run it backwards and forwards like this through gloss varnish, and gradually it builds up, and then you end up with this like stringy, slavery thing that you can glue into someone's mouth to look like saliva.
The RSPCA on you in a minute.
The
I wonder
RSPCA.
your cat wants to go outside all the time.
Our cat refused. Right, and also I say that when he does go into the toilet in the garden, he refuses to really go in our garden. What he does is he sits on next door's fence and hangs his arse over their side of the fence and just goes. So he used to go in their back. He used to go in their garden, and then they naturally put down some netting and some stuff to repel him. Because I said to them, like, just squirt him with some water. I'm sorry. I'll try and do it. And he basically then was like, well, I'm not going to be beaten, so he just sits on the fence and hangs his bum over next door, and he'll look at, and I'll be upstairs working, and I'll look at him, and he'll be looking at me as he's doing it, and my next door neighbours, bless them, and I try, if I see him doing it, I like shoo him off, but they've just kind of resigned themselves to the fact, so they've just put a pot underneath on their side of the fence.
Oh, that is brilliant. That is brilliant. Do you know what? You should forget your YouTube channel. You should video this.
Video my
put
cat.
It up on YouTube. You'd make a fortune. Yeah.
Probably would do, actually, yeah.
Antic.
The
People
shitting
love
cat.
cat videos on the internet, don't they?
That's true.
That is brilliant. That is
Cat videos and reaction
brilliant.
videos. They're the thing, or someone reacting to a cat video. That's what people
that's the
watch
secret
people
sauce.
reacting. Yeah.
My
That's the
goodness
gold.
me.
I've got
Gold
one
star
thing before we
video.
just before we disappear. Got imaginary conflicts here. So completely unrelated. How do you guys look after your brushes? I use the Army Painter insane detail brush. So mine's shaped, don't mess up the model, but bristles are splaying after only a few months. Ooh, I just use brush soap, and I don't use small brushes that small. I use Regiment brush from the Army Painter, or a number 2 brush from Red Stable Kalinsky. If I go really detail for my detail stuff, what's the one I use? Where is it? Might be a detail brush. I won't really go any smaller than that, to be fair. It just becomes a real pain in the arse to try and get the detail. Try and get any paint. You want to just keep your tips good, just like that one. I've let that go a little bit, to be fair. I need to clean that. But I just use this brush soap. What's it called? I've sprayed over it, but I can't remember. It's that pot stuff. You know the stuff I mean. God, I just use that. But what about you guys? What do you use?
I just use just water, but I use really. I mean, I do use a lot of my standard brushes are triple zero, so I do use small brushes. Make sure they're, after every painting session, they're cleaned thoroughly. I use brush protectors on every single one, but my brushes can, if I use a Windsor & Newton Series 7 brush, if you look after that, I had the first one of them I ever used. I looked after that, and I had to replace it 2.5 years later. That's how long it lasted, because it's a good quality brush. But look after your brushes, and they'll look after you.
Yeah. Also, another tip: use metallics and washes with one brush, and use your base coating with another, your normal paint. So I don't use a metallic with this brush. This brush here is just for base coating. This brush is for metallics. I don't mix them because metallics tend to dry out quite quickly. And that's why you'll see me doing that.
Good old-fashioned saliva helps as well.
Yeah. I tend to eat a lot of paint.
I just try to make sure each brush is cleaned and I dry it properly. But the thing is, for detail brushes, I don't like really long, thin detail brushes. I prefer a short brush that's more that's wider, that comes to a very fine point rather than a long one. Because the problem is, it tends to dry out quicker on the end. So by the time you got from the paintbrush to from the paint pot to the model, the paint's dry on the end, and you start so I try to go something that's a bit wider, so you can load more paint but not worry about it spilling over. I just try to make sure everything's dry when I put it away. That's about it.
Yeah, just clean them regularly is the best thing, really, isn't it? Just make sure when you've used them, you give them a good old wipe and wash with clean water, and then occasionally use a bit of soap or something else. I think they will eventually always die. Eventually, you'll lose the tips on them. You can't help. But as Steve says, if you look after them, they'll last a long, long time.
Yeah. Clean them several times in the session as well, Rinse them in clean water throughout the session. Don't leave it 20 minutes before you clean it. So maybe paint for a few minutes, 5 minutes or something, and then go in, completely clean it out, and then dry the brush off, and then start again.
Yeah.
I hope that's helped. But that's it. That's all we got time for this week, guys. Episode number 38. So we're coming up to how many weeks till Christmas? Like 3 or 4 in it, something like that. Yeah, it's not long.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
December tomorrow. So, yeah, we'll see you next week. And thanks for joining us on the Plastic Crack podcast. Have a good week and stay safe.
Cheers, guys.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.
See you again. Bye bye.